And I'm on the final stretch of publishing my novel Agile Noir, and I'm doing a sprint planning. I didn't always do sprint plannings. For the first half of the book, I did very strict, very good sprints, and I did. You'll have seen the other videos where I did some release planning, etc. And then the last half of the book, I was busy working part-time on my book while I was doing some full-time work for a client. But now we're 325 pages later of a manuscript. The manuscript's finished, but it's finished in the sense I still have to go back and do a revision to make sure all of the stories and is intact. And then I also need to work on the language and make sure the exact right words are there so that the story reads very well. So I have to, now I'm planning, and by the way, I can work full-time on it for about 3 weeks starting tomorrow. And I want to do a sprint planning so I can start tracking progress, etc. And see what I can do. So this is just again, I'm applying Scrum to writing a book. And so what I did then is I collected some statistics. So in the past, I've been writing for a long time now, and I have some spreadsheets on how fast I can produce work. So I have some production statistics on how long it takes me to do a revision, and how long it takes me to do this process called the 10% solution. 10% Solutions by an author named Mr. Rand. He's a great guy, so if you want to check out, if you're a writer, the 10% Solution is a great book. Has a nice process in it for doing revision. And so at this point I have to figure out, well, what can I get done in the next 3 weeks? Because I want to get it ready for editing. That's the next step. I'm gonna send it off to an editor. And I would like to be able to contact my editor and see how my schedule fits her schedule for finishing up the book. Okay, so anyways, I needed to come up with some. I did a sprint planning, and let me review it with you. The project vision is this: deliver a book that can be finished on a flight from Seattle to Miami, which teaches how Scrum and Agile can work in an entertaining way. So this has always been the original project vision since when I started this project way back when. And it's called Agile Noir. So it's a business novel. And this is I know the sprint one isn't really accurate. I've had many sprints in the past as well. But now I'm restarting sprinting, so I'm going to call this sprint one again. And this first sprint, the plan is it's good to have a way or a short sentence when you're doing Scrum to focus the team on what it is their goal is. And so it's to prepare for editing up to the first chapter's scene break. All right. So that was developed by looking at the metrics about how much work do I project I can accomplish. And here's those couple metrics. I had a revision metric where I could do revise a page every 3 minutes. And the 10% solution over a couple of projects in the past, I can do 170 word. I could do about 250 words an hour using the 10% solution. All right, so I came up with 2 stories, and I'm using the geometric series for the story sizing. So I'm having an 8-point sprint. 1 week sprint. As a reader, given a novel that's to the point and clear, so I learn what I need and enjoy the experience. Okay, so that means I'm going to go back and review the story aspects and make sure for the whole novel, for all 325 pages, and fix any problems that are story or plotting problems. But I'm not going to worry so much about the language. Okay, and then this other story is as a reader with a chapter 1 first break up to the chapter 1 first break of words that are brief and clear and meaningful so that the prose flows into my brain. Okay, so this is using the Bill Wake format. The most traditional format is ASA, so that I can, and there's some other little tricky things you can do to shorten that out a little bit. So you can say as a reader, I have with something what the reader wants, as if they have it, and then why. So, okay, so it just shortens up a little bit. Okay, So that's my sprint.